Introducing a Christmas zombie. So this look took me about 6 hours, and I maybe had over 2 hours of footage for this. So just know that a lot of time and effort went into this video. I don't normally do voiceovers, but I figured it might be fun because this is one of my favorite looks that I've done in a while. I kind of started out blocking out my brows, mapping out where things were going to go, especially because I didn't want to muddy the red and the green. And because if I didn't map it out, there would definitely be some product that I had to wipe away in order for this to look nice and crisp and clean. So that's kind of what I started with, and then you can see me start to lay down all of my green, go in and make sure that it's where I want it to be. This part actually probably took me the longest. You'd be surprised how long it actually takes you to really do something like this, because you don't think that it will, and then you start getting into it and you're like, man, body painting, not for the faint of heart. It's a good thing I like what I do, and I literally will get lost in it, because otherwise, just know this would not have happened. This is literally brought to you by coffee and Red Bull. No joke, it is what I live on, and I stand by that. My doctor may not like it, my teeth definitely do not like it, but it is what it is. All right, after that, I go ahead and start mapping out some of the white. So this is some of the white teeth as well as some of the bones. I go ahead and draw those out, map out exactly where I want them to be. Again, I didn't want to lay down the green there because otherwise it would have caused problems, and I find that it just works better this way. For this, I actually used a water-activated paint for the green, and for the majority of my base paint stuff, I normally will lay down a base of a cream paint because I find that it just lays better on the skin and doesn't crack as much, especially when it takes me a very long time to create a look. It is just best that I use water-activated paints for the details. So that's what I did, and then I'm just going in and filling in the rest of the stuff with red. And that will be basically my base for the rest of everything before I kind of dive in. Then I start with some of those black details. Again, this is water activated paint. I love the Mayron Paradise paint, so that is typically what I use. In fact, that is what I use today, and I'm going around all of those edges to make them nice and crisp and clean. Really, this is very much a pop art zombie type style look, which I've done something like that in the past. It was really, really cool, but I figured for like a Christmas theme type situation, something that was very pop arty and zombie like would be kind of cool, and I saw someone else do something similar. So that was kind of my inspiration for this. Really, the devil is in the details when it comes to looks like this, because honestly, you can do a look like this and do a really, really good job, but if you don't pay attention to those little details, it'll get you every time, and they don't look quite as good. So I probably spent the majority of the time on this with all of those little details. So the peppermint shading and the peppermint bark bones and things like that took a long time, as well as some of the shading that you see a little bit later on in this look, where you can kind of see it right here, where I'm, putting a little bit of darker red around some of those bones and really smoking it out. That took hours. That is literally the longest part of this whole thing, was spending the time and deepening all of that out. Then I pop on my wig, pop on my hat, and I covered up my brains, which is sad, but this is the final finished look. I really do truly love how it turned out.